Last January, I found myself in the extremely uncomfortable position of believing that the projected second overall pick, Shedeur Sanders, was really bad. The projected first overall pick, Cam Ward, was just okay. And a guy nobody was talking about at all, who was 25 years old, was really, really good. That guy was Tyler Shough. It's only been 2.5 games, but Tyler Shough is proving me right quickly. In just his second start, he beat the Carolina Panthers pretty convincingly, and sure, the scoreboard only shows 17 points. It was a lot better than that. Additionally, the Carolina Panthers are quietly a decent team. I mean, this team had a winning record when he stepped on the field with them. Now they're 500 because he beat them, but you can't punish him for beating them, right? Tyler Shough had an A-plus game against the Panthers. He had 3 deep balls, 2 of which were accurate. 1 was elite, big touchdown to Chris Olave. He had 3 great throws, 5 solid throws, and only missed 4 passes. He also never put the ball in harm's way. No interceptable balls or fumbles. And in all 3 games, Tyler Shough has played substantially. I've graded every dropback before the game got just disgustingly out of hand. 83 dropbacks, and he still has not thrown a ball that should have been intercepted, and he still hasn't fumbled. He also hasn't taken a sack that was his fault. He's only taken 6 sacks, and all 6 of them were his offensive line breaking down or his receivers just never getting open within the 2.5 seconds that he has to diagnose what's going on. He also hasn't been the throwaway merchant that a lot of draft Twitter thought he would be. A lot of people thought that he was going to be throwing the ball away, afraid of contact constantly, and he only has 1 throwaway. He's played through contact. He's manipulated the pocket really, really well. He's getting interior pressure because their guards are not very good, and he's handling it. Tyler Shough isn't a superstar yet, and he may never become one. But through just 3 games, Tyler Shough has already proven that he is definitely the Saints starter. He should definitely be back next year. And frankly, this guy's going to be a top 10 quarterback in the NFL soon. If not this year,
our first play is going to be
next.
Tyler Shough getting sacked.
That's plenty of blather, though. Let's get right to the film.
See, here's the top of his drop, and nobody's open. You can throw with some anticipation to Olave over the middle here, but it's very dangerous to throw over the middle, especially on second down when you've got a free rusher in your face. As you can see, this defensive back, 30-something, he's broken through the line. He's coming right at Shough. And this is not a place where you want to step through a hit to make a play, right? You don't want to throw a possible wobbler over the middle because that's how you punt, right? Like right here, he could anticipate and throw the ball to Olave. And he probably should, if not for 32 standing right in his face. 32 is going to bat that ball. 32 is going to hit him while he throws that ball. And if that thing wobbles, it becomes more dangerous. I grade this as no fault. It looks like Shough's going to get sacked on the very next drop back as well. But on third down, Tyler Shough makes some magic, right? This is a great play. Here's the top of his drop. Nobody open at all. As he's being contacted, still nobody's coming open. It's a very slow developing route tree, and his protection did not hold up. Literally shrugs a dude off. Like, literally just breaks a tackle. That's the benefit of being a 6'5" athlete who could play tight end in this league. And then while rolling to his left, makes a nice throw to a busted coverage. And so it's not the hardest throw. It's pretty easy. It's 15 yards downfield. Wide open receiver, not a defender in the world notices he's there, but I always give a solid play for a big throw off a coverage bust simply because, hell, they at least recognized it and they made a throw that, a lot of high school quarterbacks could theoretically miss just because it's downfield. But from the pocket, we see 11 kind of has Shough dead to rights, shrugs him off, gives him the elbow slip, navigates the pocket because, the first obstacle was not all that was there. Then he asked, there's an edge getting contained. He's got to step up and through. There's a defensive tackle right in his face, and he puts the fucking brakes on him. Look at this. Whoop! And while rolling left, makes the throw. So the throw is probably the least impressive part of the play, and it's a really impressive play. That's a routine throw. We don't need to talk about it. That's another routine throw. Good job by Shough to get through his progression, right? Like originally, when he's looking at this play, it's drawn up to be a Taysom Hill joint, as is typical of Taysom Hill plays. Right? They want to work Taysom Hill on the flat, and then they want to work Chris Olave on the slant behind him, and the defenders have to bite on one of them, right? And that didn't work that time. You probably could have fit the ball into Chris Olave, but why try when you have the easiness to the tight end? So just a good job of going through his progression and making the easy throw. Routine, but still, nice job. Here, I'd like to see Shough pull the trigger and just throw this fade up to 87 in the back of the end zone. It was open. Shough comes off of it just a little too early. It's a verbal meme, right? It's that guy with the pickaxe digging for diamonds and he turns back just a little too soon. Right, like right here, Shough is like, okay, I guess I'm not going to throw the ball to Moreau. And 2 steps later, right when Shough turns his head, Moreau becomes open. So that's, I don't know if it's bad communication or bad anticipation, but not the best read from the young quarterback. Then he feels the pressure, and he's correct to roll to his left, but nothing really comes open, so he just kind of throws it away. Next drive starts with a miss. That's a bad ball. No excuses. Here, Tyler Shough does a great job, actually, of avoiding the rush and aborting the screen in the end zone, right? Like, this very easily could have been a safety. This is a very quick pressure. They didn't anticipate the lightning blitz, right? So, pre-snap, you see here, Shough is pointing out because he says, like, look, it looks like they're going to have that cornerback blitz from the left. So, slide the protection left, running back, be sure to get that guy because we can't account for that. What Shough doesn't realize is that he's probably got a pinch blitz, right? He's got defensive backs looking to run from both sides, as well as 5 down linemen. Now, these 2 linebackers are mugged. Typically, one will come, one will stay. But this is just a rookie not setting his protections quite right. Right, that corner bails out. It ends up just being a 4-man rush with the lightning blitzer off the right. You got to understand and have a hot route set. You have to slide your... See number 24? He's just standing there like, oh, fuck, that's the guy I'm supposed to block. And that's not because 24 made a mistake. It's because Shough made the mistake. You're supposed to slide him over. Either move your running back or slide the protection. In this case, I'd move the running back. Either way, Shough does a really good job of realizing, like, well, I've got a blocker who's not blocking. Use him as an eligible receiver. Dirt that ball. So it's a plus pocket movement, it's a throwaway, but it's also bad pre-snap process, and we note that. It doesn't really show up in the charts, but we take note of it. We change his letter grade on pre-snap if it becomes a problem. But even the best have bad plays. Anyway, here, Tyler Shough evades pressure, steps up and through neutral run. Not a lot to talk about. He's a good athlete, but that wasn't the best explanation of it. Or expedition. Exhibition. This is the good stuff. Shough releases the ball from his own 30. It lands at the opposite 18. That fucker travels about 50 air yards, and it is choice. Now, it helps that J.C. Horn fell down on the route, but Chris Olave had him beat over the top anyway. It's part of why he fell down, and the ball was perfectly floated in there. That was an elite throw, an accurate deep ball, and this is not. The problem here is that Tyler Shough is falling away. You see how his body kind of like flamingos? This is something Caleb Williams struggled with a lot at USC, actually. It's an aversion to contact. And like, I've been doing a lot to fight this bullshit narrative that Tyler Shough is afraid of getting hit because of all his injuries. I think that's completely and totally unfounded. However, here with 2 defensive linemen about to hit him as he throws, he does lean away, and that happens. Josh Allen does that too sometimes. But because Shough leans away, ball from his goal line to the opposite 50 or to the opposite 45. It's a 55-yard throw. If it had been 65 yards, it's probably a touchdown. If it had been 60 yards, it's a huge gain. So we're nitpicking, but you got to stand in or at least buy yourself a little bit more time to make a bigger throw or make that throw earlier. No matter, because Shough's going to get the empty calorie yards to make up for it. That's a routine throw, but it's a huge gain. Production only lies. Here's another miss. Shough has missed a little bit throwing to his left on these outbreaking routes. Now that one isn't quite normal because he's rolling to his left as well, which is tough, but it's something to take note of. It might be a left-right bias. Here, this is why you don't have fucking quarterbacks running your Texas routes. It's a bad throw, but most running backs catch that. And if he catches it, it's a first down. But instead, he doesn't catch it. Punt. Bad throw.
Certainly, don't get it twisted. I chart that as bad, but why are we trying to make Taysom Hill happen in the Big 25? It's over. Routine throw. This is a really nuanced play. So look at the top of the drop. What's Tyler Shough looking at? Whole lot of nothing. Let's diagram it. This play is actually just a ruse. So you're going to have this receiver on a clear out streak. All he's doing is just taking this player out of the game. And then Olave is going to run a curl, except he's never going to curl. He's just going to really block. Over here, you're going to have Juwan Johnson run like a slant and block. And Vele is going to just come across the field. That's because the entire purpose of this play is to just clear out and throw a screen to the running back. Right? Olave is going to run this stop curl, and he's going to literally block this defender. This defender is going to be taken away by the streak. We already decided that. Whoever is covering Vele out of the slot, probably this guy if it's man. Let's see real quick. It looks like it's going to be some form of cover 3, right? So you're probably going to have like that, like that, like that. This linebacker will carry across with Vele momentarily, and then he'll pass him off to this linebacker. And this linebacker will get blocked by Johnson over here. So, as you can see, you're going to have hat, hat, hat. Yeah, that's it. And that'll work out perfectly because all the Saints really want to do is run a little 7 route so that their running back can get the ball here and just kind of follow those blockers up the field. And guess what happens? Just like they drew it up. Now, Shough does a decent job of extending the play because right now, it doesn't look like the play is going to have enough time to work. You need a little bit of time for 24 to get up into the field and into the blocking zone. But he does. And there you go. That lane just like we expected. This is a good job by Shough. Alters the protection. Reads it out well. Right? The reason he's looking to his left is because his first read is, well, if that streak wins, I mean, go for it. And he does have one-on-one, so it's worth exploring. But he realizes, yeah, it's not going to happen. We're going to go with the play. And go with the play he does. Nice little pocket movement, routine throw, but a beautiful design. More of that, Kellen Moore. Good stuff. Routine throw. Another routine throw. This is a deeper drop back. They wanted something up at the top of the screen here. They got a scissor motion. But Shough got the ball out before it got open. Right, if he throws it right here, maybe it's open. Up to the top of the screen, that is, the downfield shot, but whatever, he got the yardage. On second down, you want to put yourself in third and manageable. And on third and manageable, Shough does some more good stuff. Steps up and through the pincher, and then while being hit, makes a lovely throw. It's a great throw. It's 2+ pocket movements. Let me show you why. So the edges both win. They get home, and Shough has to step up so that they don't tackle him through their blockers. But while stepping up, 99 comes free. Yikes. Backup left guard. And Shough eats one in the ribs while making a throw downfield. And that throw is 20 yards downfield on a dime. Perfect throw. Excellent, excellent stuff. Here's another one. It's tricky. It's a nice little fade route from Vele, right? Get to the sideline and get upfield. And he wins upfield. Shough is thinking, I don't want to lead him too much because that invites 7, that safety, into the play to hit him. And that's not what we want. But Shough also underthrows it a little bit. He puts it on the back shoulder. I don't think that this was a proper decision. It's not an accuracy problem. It's a decision-making problem. I would have preferred that Shough lead his receiver up the field a little bit, another 3 yards, so that he can utilize his upfield leverage without being crunched by the safety. That's a really hard throw to do, and maybe he just doesn't have the confidence yet in his second NFL start. That being said, still a wildly catchable ball, and but for some bad footwork by the receiver, it certainly would have been caught. Right? Nice little pump fake to see if he can open it up, buy some time. And that ball is really, really well thrown. Now, receiver doesn't get his feet down, but he has every opportunity to. That's 1 foot, and right there, that's plenty of time for a receiver to get a second foot down. The fact that he doesn't is on the receiver, not on the quarterback. That is a great throw. It is a deep ball that is accurate. It's a routine throw. This play was so close to being so lovely. Shough has a ton of time in the pocket for once. They go max protect. There's only 3 receivers in the route. So he really has to throw this streak to the top of the screen for 1 billion yards. I mean, he's got to let this ball go from the 30, and it's got to go to the 10, maybe. That's a tough throw, and it's going to be doubled by then because there is a safety over the top being dragged away. Instead, Shough scrambles not because there's pressure, but he scrambles to open up a throwing lane, right? Now, this is all scramble drill, so at this point, it's not really about what route is being run, but Shough sees this giant void here and understands that his receiver is going to run towards it. Rather than try to throw from here, where you're going to have to try to really layer that ball over this floating defender here that I drew the strangest symbol over, Shough rolls out, figuring I can loft it over him and kind of put it in space and give my receiver a chance to run under it. That's exactly what you need to do. And that's exactly what Shough does. Now, I wish he would have put a little bit more air under it, and also his receiver just loses the foot race. It's a bad throw, but it's great process. Here's more of it. He doesn't run because he has to. He runs because it opens up the throwing lane. He lobs that ball over, and if he puts a little bit more air under it, like gets it up higher instead of faster, or he just aims it a little bit further from the sideline, that's a really great play. So, like, watch. In the next 2 weeks, he'll probably hit that ball. He'll hit something similar at least. Here, Shough showing that he can do it with his legs. Another lightning blitz. That just means a cornerback is blitzing. Shough steps up and through, outruns a defensive end, gets the first down. He is absolutely an athlete. I know he's a big white guy that went to like a boring school in Kentucky, but Shough he's more in that Justin Herbert mold of athlete. Now, this is 3rd and 15-ish. Watch this throw. As you can see, by the way, there's really nothing open. I don't like this play. It's kind of just, hey, everybody run in the same general area, 10 yards downfield, and stop at the sticks. Watch this throw. Bang. The velocity to fit this ball in there is crazy. This is a great throw. In between 2 defenders, and he laces it onto his receiver. And if his receiver would have caught it and stayed up right here instead of falling back to catch the ball, in the broadcast angle, it was a little clearer. Vele didn't fall because he got hit. Vele fell because he wanted to make sure he secured the catch. Could have had a first down. But it's a good play, and at the very least, this is the thing. It's a new day in the NFL. If the line to gain is the 47, and on 3rd down, you get to the 45, 4th and 2, from midfield, you go for that. And if on 3rd down you put me in a position where I'm at an advantage to go for it on 4th down, so if you put me in 4th and short, it's a good play. Even if it's not, necessarily what you draw up, it's a good play. There's a routine throw. Another routine throw. And a routine throw. Sorry, my voice is going. It is fall. It is time for phlegm. All right, this play is lovely. Up and through. Oh, no, fuck, I'm early. No. I thought that I cued myself with that run play that I left in there. But anyway, more pincher pressure, right? More tackles getting beaten to the back of the drop. And this time, Shough can't quite step through. Really good job by 11 there to get his hands on him and wrap him up. Not to be deterred, on the very next play, 2nd down, Shough throws a nice strike, a solid throw. Routine throw. And this is the one where he steps up and through. I love this play. This is third down. They're winning the game. Sure, he can settle for a field goal, and they'll probably hang on to win. That gives him a touchdown cushion. But Shough steps away from the pressure that actually, ironically, comes from his left tackle just kind of falling into him. Evades it, and then while fading away and rolling left, throws over a charging defender, finds the coverage bust, puts it right on target with plenty of velocity to get upfield, and that's going to end the game. There's also a really nice catch by Olave on the next throw, but this game's really over when this ball hits. Good throw, great pocket manipulation, win the game against a division rival. Not a bad job for your second start. So, on the day, 1 elite throw, 3 great throws, 5 solid throws, 6 routine throws, and only 4 bad throws. No pickable balls, no sacks that were Shough's fault, no fumbles, 2 sacks that I don't think Shough could have done anything about, a throwaway, a good run, an okay run, no bad runs, and 16 pocket manipulations. Those pocket manipulations are just any time that he extends a play with his feet or, eats contact to make a throw. I mean, really good job by Tyler Shough. Excellent pocket management, and better yet, great accuracy. He was accurate on 79% of his passes, despite almost all of them being downfield. It'd be one thing if this was just a big day against the Panthers, but Tyler Shough has yet to play a game that wasn't impressive, and he's getting better every week. His first game against Tampa Bay, he only played in the fourth quarter, really, and it was mostly garbage time, but he looked solid. There was absolutely reason to be encouraged by his performance. I gave it a B. And then last week, I made the video. Yes, LA jumped on the Saints early in Shough's debut, and Shough never really got to get a ton going, but he played well, pretty substantially well before the game got out of hand. Then in this game against the Panthers, where it was a competitive game all the way through, Shough was excellent. So as they enter their bye week, I think the Saints have a lot to be excited about with this kid. And he's 26. He's the same age as Jordan Love, and Jordan Love hasn't really done much of anything to this point in his career anyway. So as long as Shough can keep this up, great second round pick by the Saints, and they've got a franchise quarterback. I'm really excited to see what Shough can do against this remaining schedule because it's not that tough. With games coming up against the Falcons, Dolphins, Buccaneers, Panthers again, Jets, and Titans, I think it's totally within the realm of possibility that the Saints get a few wins here and Shough doesn't have to worry about the Saints drafting a quarterback. Because if he beats the Dolphins, Panthers, Jets, Titans, and one of the Falcons games, suddenly they're like a 6-win team. Frankly, I think that it's a disservice to the Saints that they waited this long to play Shough, because as I said all fall, I like Spencer Rattler. I like Spencer Rattler plenty. I think that he absolutely deserves a chance to become someone's starter. And in the right situation, I think he could be decent. I just think that Tyler Shough is special. Much better than Spencer Rattler. Had Shough played against the Cardinals, the Giants, the Patriots, the Bears, I think there's a decent chance that the Saints have more than just 2 wins right now. And while I don't like the way Kellen Moore has handled this quarterback competition, or generally his offense, I think that Shough has proven that he can pretty easily overcome any hiccups from Kellen Moore's mismanagement and immaturity as a head coach. Again, the Saints have 2 wins right now. Let's say they beat the Dolphins, 3, the Jets, 4, the Titans, 5, and one of the Falcons games, 6. If I told you Tyler Shough won 6 games this year back in August, you'd be thrilled. And if I told you he did it in half a season, you'd cry tears of happiness. Things might really be looking up for the Saints. And I think they found their franchise quarterback. And he's not just like a low-end franchise quarterback. If he keeps this up and he proves my college evaluation correct, Tyler Shough might be a star. That's all I got for you guys today. I'm going to get back to grinding tape and watching some Monday Night Football tonight. Hit me in the comments. Tell me if you like these videos and who you want me to do next. I'm thinking Baker Mayfield to figure out why he's been struggling lately, but I'm open to suggestions. All right, hasta.